Never buy your first home until you watch this. This is important, folks. Number one is the lender. It sounds counterintuitive. Last time I checked, I'm a realtor. But you really need to engage a lender first. And I'm going to explain why. With those interest rates and home prices still being a little bit on the high side, you really want to gauge your affordability. You may be looking in a price tier that is too much, or actually I've noticed too little. It doesn't mean you have to actually pay, but you want to know your purchase power. So I have partnered with Bob Friel with the Friel Good Mortgage team. He's got a 14-step questionnaire to fill out, super simple to fill out. 14 steps. His team member, someone on his team, Jordan, great guy, will reach out to you. You can do a discovery call. So that is really important. And this is even if you are 6 months, 8 months away, you don't actually know when you're going to be making that purchase. For you first timers, it's very, very important. It's critical for you to have that discussion first with the lender. And then step number two, which is the realtor. Hiring that realtor isn't just to open doors. There's a lot more than being a real estate agent than opening doors. And if that's what you're looking for, you probably should be questioning why you want to buy that home. A realtor, a valuable realtor, will provide you strategic guidance. It's not just a door opener. Door opening is part of it. Getting you into the showing is part of it. But it's strategic guidance. It is a fiduciary, a higher level. We put, as a professional realtor like myself, I'm speaking for myself, I put your interests ahead of my own to make sure that I am meeting all of your needs, wants, etc. So it's more than opening that door. And so that is this tip two, of what you need to do. These tips for first-time home buyers is make sure you hire the right realtor. And of course, I hope it's myself, but just again, make sure that you're hiring that right realtor. If you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to me. You can comment below. So what did I mean in that beginning of the video? I said time in versus timing, right? You may be inclined to, okay, let's just wait a little bit longer and try to time it perfectly to get a property at its lowest point, buy low, sell high, right? But unless you're an investor, you got to understand real estate is cyclical, right? You know, you are going to be in this home for a minimum 7 years, maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years. I mean, I know things can happen, but you need to get in that market. And who's to say? You may be thinking we are basically in a recession. I'm going to be, almost like beating a dead horse. This graphic here, right? Several recessions, of course, '08 is one of those exceptions that was related to the housing, that crash. But 4 out of the last 6 recessions, home prices did not significantly go down. So we may be dealing in a situation, if you try to wait till 2023, it could be flat or even slightly above at a couple of percent. And then what happens? You may have wasted some of those opportunities that you could have had with less competition, and who knows, there could be even more competition later into 2023. So that's what I mean by time in. Get in there, start building that equity versus trying to time it. Now, unless you're an investor, again, whole different circumstances, and you can reach out to me if you're an investor. But if you're this is for first-time home buyers, so you're going to be owning that home. So let's get you in that home. Let's start building that equity. When I'm saying flexibility, I don't necessarily mean like instead of 2 bathrooms, 1 bathroom, or instead of 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms. I'm speaking flexibility in the neighborhoods. In this rising interest rate market, again, this is tips for first-time buyers. You need to be realistic. Instead of the Roscoe Villages or the Lincoln Squares, the Ravenswoods, one of the stalwarts like Lincoln Park, you need to have that flexibility. Or as you can see right here, Irving Park. You have the Brown Line there, and this is North Center. These, of course, are all of the very popular neighborhoods. But it may be prudent to consider wonderful Jefferson Park. I've got a listing here. You may need train access, and there is the Jefferson Park Blue Line. So while it's not immediately right next door, you have that. You have affordable housing. So just be flexible when you are looking at homes. Never settle. Never settle. And you need to have that patience, particularly in this market with longer market times and sellers are going to be a little bit more realistic as they're being properly advised by their listing agents. So while you may have been in this market earlier in the year and you just, it's very, very frustrating, but things have now changed and now you found a property and almost kind of like that first date, you want, let's go, let's go out together. Now have some patience. Let's look at some properties, assuming that you are motivated, you follow those tips, particularly with the lender and talking with the lender, and you're all ready to go. Let's look at some properties and also use, as one of the tips was the open houses. But you need to really have that patience and never settle, because there's always buyer's remorse. There's been buyer's remorse for people who bought kind of on the higher end, and there's going to be buyer's remorse even if you're seeing a good deal. Let's talk it through, and this is why you hired me. Don't forget about open houses. Some people feel that they're a waste of time. I know a lot of agents don't like to attend them. They feel it's not a waste of time. No, it actually, particularly, let's say you're that first-time home buyer and you really don't know. You're like, listen, AD, I may be 6 to 12 months. Now, that could accelerate quickly, but you've had that conversation with the lender, right? You've been going through some of the other tips that I've explained here in this video. Go out and see open houses, and I'll be happy to send you. Just tell me the areas, and if you're not familiar with the areas, I can give you some suggestions. Go out to the open houses. It's so simple. You can give my name, my full name, Anant Deoras, give my cell phone, tell them I am your agent, and they won't bug you. You can see the house. It's low pressure, and if there's something that sparks your interest, then of course send me the address, and I'm happy to research it and dive in a little deeper. But open houses are a fantastic way. Particularly if you haven't had that pre-approval yet, it's a low pressure way to go and see some homes. So definitely do open houses. So I was watching a video from one of my really good friends. She also has a YouTube channel, excellent realtor in Jersey. And she mentioned just do not take advice from family. I'm not going to go as extreme. I do believe in that in some ways, but it's very hard to ignore your family, your friends. Of course, they're very important in your lives. And so you do value their opinion. So what I'm saying is don't hold so much stock in there, because there's always going to be that, you got to have that drunk monkey on your shoulder, and any little doubt you may run. And particularly with it being a very large share or a larger share potentially of your monthly income is going to be with this mortgage. That's just the reality of what we're facing. So what I'm going to say with that is, yes, you can look into their advice, but I will help you. You can listen to them, but make sure that we're bouncing ideas. And of course, if you ultimately decide this is not a good decision, it's not a good decision. But just don't slam the door, because you may end up regretting it, taking their advice and then waiting, and prices may go up. So family advice, yes, you have to listen to them, but it doesn't mean you have to agree with what they say. So reach out to me if you got any questions with that. But this one's been family advice. Any type of purchase. Now we're talking major purchases. And if you have questions, of course, you can talk with your lender. Always consult the lender before that purchase, prior to your closing. There's horror stories. And the reason why, folks, is, any type of major purchase could affect your DTI, debt to income, and then that could put your loan, particularly if you were kind of close, that could put your loan at jeopardy, because underwriting will go all the way up till I've seen even to the day of before to confirm everything. So if you buy that boat, put it this way, buy that boat after you close, go crazy. But before then, any major purchases, consult with the lender. Research, okay? What you want to do beforehand, there's several sites. Niche.com is one. The other one is greatschools.org. These are particularly two for if you're looking for schools for your child. I, of course, also will be helping and being that resource and doing that work for you. Eventually, I'll be releasing some school information, but just use that. If you want to know things about crime, I can't really comment, but go to Chicago Police, cpd.org, and do research. And I can tell you it's set up as community areas. How it works in Chicago, there's all those community areas that I'm explaining, 70 community areas are broken up into districts. So if you have particular neighborhoods that you have interest in, let me know the districts. I can help you with that and send you that third-party information so you can make an informed decision. So research. There's three big words for a really important tip. Make sure you do those. And those are a couple of sites I just gave you. And you know, I can't believe I'm saying this, but rent, right? I've said this before in several videos, ladies and gentlemen. If you do not feel, as this first-time buyer, I know it's a very big decision, you've run all the numbers, you've gone through my steps here now. I've given you 9 great steps. We're here at number 10, right? On never buy your first home without watching this. Go ahead and rent. Continue to rent. Rent prices have gone up too, but maybe you need that time and actually weaken as interest rates hopefully go down, home prices go down. When you're in month 5, 6, or 7 into your lease, a lot of landlords have some flexibility. You can get out of your lease. I can help you find someone, and we can get back right into this late into 2023. So don't feel that I never want you to feel pressure, right? Go ahead and continue to rent if the numbers don't make sense. So this has been Anant Deoras, AD, with eXp Realty. Thank you so much for watching. Now watch these 2 videos. I've got a playlist you should watch, and of course you can subscribe to my channel. Any questions at all, feel free to reach out.